Morning, everybody. Strider Raven checking in from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Couple thoughts for the day. I was really moved by the police officers in New York City and their righteous anger, and I'm very, very proud of those men for standing up and speaking out. I was listening to a Ted Cruz speak about George Floyd being active in his church. We don't miss George Floyd here at this site, and we believe it's one less sicko in the world to poison it. And we don't condone the way he was killed, but we certainly don't miss George Floyd being on this planet. I wanted to speak today about Richie from Boston. Mr. Richie, if the best you can do is insult Donald Trump, I think you haven't stuck your fat head up in the sky and looked at, there are no more chemtrails. At the very least, you should give him credit for clearing the skies of that. Mr. Richie from Boston, I think your mere presence makes me sick to my stomach. I think your foul mouth, you need your mouth washed out with soap, and the people that follow you are probably as dumb or dumber than you are, driving around in your car. And the only thing I would say to you today is pull up to the second window and get your fast food, go eat it and shut up. My real thought for the day is simple. As they defund the police around the country, I don't know if anybody's taken the time a few months ago and noticed all the long lines of military equipment on the trains. And it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out that war is coming to America. And this may get me kicked off this site, and so I don't really care. To be frank with you, I'm gonna speak my mind. But those were a lot of tanks and Humvees coming in up through a lot of major cities such as Chicago, Hollywood, all over. And there's been a lot of troop movements. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but there was an attack on the White House last week. And I would say to America, read my lips, civil war is coming. You can probably get to the point where we're going to have to admit this will be the first war that everybody will pretend like there isn't a war for the first time in history. But there will come a point where total lawlessness will reign supreme, and the militant black supremacy is going to rise and try to take over America. If anybody noticed, there were metal steel plates used by the protesters in DC. Whether they were thin or thick, I'm not sure, but they're having signs that say any means necessary. So keep this going, America, and we're going to be staring at civil war. You could pretend all day long it's not coming, but that was a lot of troop movements, a lot of heavy metal and equipment was being transported. President Trump will only take so much, and lawlessness will only be allowed to reach a certain point. But to the officers in New York City, I would say this: I would resign en masse, all of you. Just quit. If they pass that new legislation, throw your badge in the river like Clint Eastwood did in Dirty Harry, and tell them to have a nice day. It doesn't really matter, because sooner or later martial law is going to have to be declared if crime reaches a certain level. So go ahead, America, and spend all day long pretending that that war is not coming, but it is. And to the angry blacks, if you want to try to take over America, be my guest. But Donald Trump has known this is coming for a long time, and he's not going to allow it. And yes, some ex-presidents were executed for treason, and we don't miss them. We're glad they're gone, and anyone that you see, they're probably a double, a clone, an actor, who knows what, a brother, and for all I care, I don't even care. But take the time to Google up some of those troop movements, and I can assure you the big one's coming. And I will end this by saying, Richie from Boston, please shut up, okay? We're sick of you, we don't like you, and if we should meet in the kingdom of heaven at the banquet feast, I'm going to grab some fast food and eat off to the side because I don't want to be at the same table with you, all right? If you're lucky enough to get into heaven. And President Trump is God's anointed king for us. He's going to get us through this. But you angry Antifa, Black Lives Matter, go ahead, foment revolution, go for it. But while you're at it, take the time to notice all those long lines of troop movements, and it's coming, okay? And you're not going to win. You're not playing the winning hand. I'll say that. And with one last thought, the New York Police Department, they're my heroes for the day, for the week, the month. I stand with them, and God bless you. Have a good day, everybody.